What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. On today's video, we are going over three altcoins that we believe have massive potential within the month of November to see some absolutely explosive gains. Now, unlike many other channels that talk a lot about, the fundamentals and some of the other some of the more internal aspects of the crypto projects themselves, we are going to talk about some of the environmental catalysts, things that are, going around about the crypto that definitely can make them explode, as well as the technicals that we are seeing that have the same bullish potential, okay? And so with that being said, let's go ahead and let's get into the very first one, being XRP. Now, with what all we've been seeing from XRP recently, it does seem as if it is set for a massive move to the upside. Now, of course, most of us do know that they are in a lawsuit with the SEC right now, but with people like Brian Armstrong, who is the CEO of the world-renowned Coinbase, saying things like the Ripple case seems to be going better than expected. Meanwhile, the SEC is realizing that attacking crypto is politically unpopular. That kind of goes to say that the XRP case with the SEC, which has realistically suppressed the price for a very long time, it does seem to be coming to a close relatively soon. It does have this feeling and this aura around it that we may be looking at an XRP win very soon here, which would obviously be a massive catalyst for some exponential growth. Not only that, though, we do have a few technical catalysts here that can tell me as well that we definitely could be looking at a massive move to the upside. Now, XRP is one of the very few cryptos from the top 15 to top 20 that has not broken through its May to September trend lines. Realistically, for XRP, it's more of an early April trend line in which we said this high, in which we said this high. Many of our cryptos have already broken out. Many of our cryptos have already seen the move through this trend line. XRP has not done so yet, just kind of saying that it is lagging. But if we can get some of this price suppression to stop, then we definitely could be looking at a massive move to the upside. Now, we are also looking at an inverse head and shoulders pattern playing out in the short term, which could get us through this trend line. As seen here, we did set in this left shoulder, this head, and we are looking to set in a right shoulder now, working our way up back towards this shoulder line, which is currently sitting at around $1.23. I do believe that if we are able to work our way back above $1.23, that will be a clearing of the shoulder line of this relatively abnormal inverse head and shoulders, but an inverse head and shoulders at that, which would of course have a massive price target all the way back up towards $1.62, which puts us past our trend line, which could definitely stop some of the price suppression from this resistance, meaning that we could be looking at a continuation into an uptrend through that clearing. Now, from where we are now to that breakout target, that is a gain of over 50%. And I do believe that starting off with a clearing of $1.23 could definitely make that happen. Now, we are also looking at a possible bullish crossing on the daily MACD, which is also another great indicator that some bullish momentum may be on the way, especially considering the fact that we're still hovering around 50 on the RSI, meaning that there is loads of room to work to the upside. So right now, I would definitely be keeping an eye on XRP. It does seem as if it has a lot of potential here, and even if we do start to see it pulling back a little bit, look for it to hold above 86 cents. If we're able to do that, it will complete this inverse head and shoulders, and that would be a massive result, leading to an even a larger result of a move to the upside. So this is definitely one to be keeping an eye on. I'm paying very close attention to XRP, as I do believe there's loads of potential here. Next up on the list, we are going to be taking a look at COTI. Now, COTI is one that has really gained popularity, especially around the time of Ada Cardano's summit. Now, considering the fact that they are in partnership and working with the Ada Cardano entire ecosystem, we can see that they have again gained loads of popularity. Now, while we have been seeing Ada being a bit boring, as we've been seeing Ada kind of slowing down a bit, it has resulted in a bit of a pullback for COTI as well. But considering the fact that Ada does have some things coming within the next few months, especially considering the fact that we're seeing Sunday swap and all of these different aspects of the Cardano system going to be going through some increases relatively soon here, I do believe that that will lead to a further result from COTI as well as an environmental catalyst. Now, for technical catalysts, we can see this absolutely picture perfect cup and handles pattern that has formed from the month of May all the way to August. Now, from there, we did see a break of trend to the upside. We broke through this cup line in which we put in our breakout high. Now, at the moment, it does seem as if COTI's price is taking a retest. We're going back towards, 48 cents to 47 cents to retest that previous level of resistance, and now looking to flip it as support. So I am under the belief that if we are able to hold this level as support, I do believe that if we are able to hold it as support and continue back upwards to continue setting some of these new higher highs, we can definitely be looking at a massive move to the upside for COTI, which would set some new all-time highs. Now, the technical target in which I am expecting for COTI's price, if we are able to hold support on top of this line, I do believe that we can be looking at a continuative breakout back up towards 90 cents, which from here is still a gain of, upwards of over 70%. I think this is very possible, and I think this is very realistic, especially considering the fact that we are looking at, some seemingly bullish momentum. It does seem like the price is trying to turn around right now, and if we can find some type of bounce here on the MACD, in which the blue line, of course, does not cross back through the orange line, I definitely think it's possible, especially considering the fact that just similar to XRP, we are seeing COTI trending back towards the 50 level, just going to show that if we hold above this area, we definitely can be looking at some massive room to the upside. So COTI is one to definitely keep an eye on, especially if we do see Ada Cardano making some big moves. I do believe that COTI will follow. Now, last but not least, we are going to be taking a look at Uniswap. Now, Uniswap is a crypto that is very similar to XRP in that it has been struggling to break its trend from, again, May to September. But what we have been able to see is that as we were looking at a lot of the FUD from China, as people were starting to get banned from crypto out in the East, one thing that we saw was that these decentralized exchanges were catching a lot of traction. They were catching a lot of heat and a lot of momentum. People were very excited about them, of course, because it allowed them to be able to do the things that maybe their regulatory bodies were trying to stop them from doing. Now, one thing we can see is that it has been making a beautiful attempt to clear this trend line, and I do believe that with going forward with the big moves that we are seeing from altcoins mixed in with the environmental catalysts of regulation and things of that nature, I do believe that Uniswap will have very, very high potential. Now, in terms of technical targets and catalysts, we can see two massive patterns playing out here. The first one being on the short term, this absolutely gorgeous inverse head and shoulders pattern that is playing out almost textbook, in which we are putting in a left shoulder, a head, and are looking to establish this as our right shoulder. But we do need to go get above $27.48 and find some support here. Now, if we're able to do that, that would also represent a break of trend from our April/May to September/August trend line, which just goes to show that a lot of these, resistance levels and a lot of this price suppression will be stopped at that point. Now, on the same note, we would also at that point be looking at a break of trend from this possible cup and handle pattern, in which we put in this pretty steep cup. I know we did have a bit of a bounce here, but we did come back down to the same level. So we put in this cup, we look to retrace back down for the handle, and at that point, if we are able to see a break of 27.48, I do believe that gives us enough momentum to break through our cup line here at $31.31. And if that was the case, we would be looking at a price target from that cup and handle pattern all the way back up towards nearly exactly $50, which at this point would represent a gain of all the way up to over 100%, which leads Uniswap to have some of the highest potential for any of the cryptos on today's list. So mixing in again all of the regulation and the things that we are seeing out in the East, I do believe that there are a lot of environmental catalysts for these decentralized exchanges and their native tokens to see a lot of potential here. Okay, and so with that being said, that mixed in with many of these technical targets, I do believe Uniswap has some of the highest potential of many of the cryptos that we do have within the top 15 and the top 20 today. And so with that being said, of course, I will update you guys on these cryptos on the channel. Of course, I know a lot of my videos are targeted more towards individual cryptos, but it's Sunday and I wanted to kind of switch it up a little bit. So I hope you guys did enjoy. Of course, if you did, you can let me know by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you are new. And if you want to stay as up to date as possible on all of these cryptos, you can do so by going down to the link in the description. It'll bring you over to my Patreon, which is where I talk about all of them. But with that being said, I will see you all very soon in the next video. Peace.